come to you the Today Show. We get segments where they range from interviews on the big issues.
Sierra Leone authorities said Monday that 20 people were killed and nearly 2,000 prisoners escaped during Sunday's attack on the capital.
To sport.
What a fairy tale story here. There they are, the champions of Africa.
In entertainment and simple tourism with plenty other issues.
Get ready for the roller coaster ride. So we day-to-day story them as we dive deep into the heart of the matter.
Every weekday on Slick Television, Channel 37 from 3 p.m.
Good afternoon and welcome to your midweek edition of the Today Show. And of course, Today Show, they come to you from Monday to Friday, which is how they bring to you all of the very best in terms of waiting matter to the people of this country. We don't talk a lot about infrastructure, we don't talk about country development. But today in the show, there is something which is significant to the economic growth of this country. Arguably, most countries in the world don't use football as a tool for developing country. A typical example, now Brazil, yes, we all know a country like Brazil arguably they get the highest number of players with trade and club football in Europe, America, or Asia, and even some parts of Africa. But over the past years, we don't see a lot what happen whenever we are close to elections, particularly the SLFA elections, as many people don't doubt the credibility of the ethics board, or a school of thoughts don't say the ethics board don't do due diligence in order for tell we those that are qualified and those that are not qualified for the SLFA elective Congress. There is also a strong rumor where they circulate on social media, which we cannot break or confirm to you at this moment because we are trying to put all the facts together and bring to you the very best of this news we don't circulate now on social media. But in the program this morning, we want to look at the power of fair play or the fall apart of the SLFA Executive Committee for a little bit to a Congress now, and what are the shake-up or witness some of the ramifications out of these SLFA elections. Previous years, we don't see candidate being disqualified, then take the matter to CAS, they reinstate them. And this is not the first, not the second time we don't see matters being taken to CAS and overturned decision from the ethics board. In the show this afternoon, we will be joined by the General Secretary of the Sierra Leone Football Association. Well, I'm not allowed to say former because we still understand he is the Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Football Association. Christopher Kamara, good with me in the studios as we can explore all the avenues in respect of the SLFA elections. As the press release just come out say, the election go hold and they hold this coming Saturday. Well, let's go first for a quick break. And when we come, before we talk to our guests in the studios, we will project to you the 4 candidates where previously, well, among these 4 candidates, now 2 gets the eligibility for contest for the elections. The 2 don't be disqualified, but like I say, there is a strong rumor which circulates on social media. When we get that confirmation, we are leaving no stone unturned at the Today Show. We are bringing that to you. Don't shut the dial, stay glued to your TV sets. We'll go for a quick break. When we come, we'll bring to you short analysis about the 4 candidates and the 2 potentially we will lead we to the Congress on Saturday. Relax and enjoy the Today Show.
Man them. This na boys. Usaiman and they put all thing at table from Pantap to Godo. Inside boys, we know they hide behind the shadow at all. We real and this them now all but we.
Every woman first, let me start that, always they look for a successful man. So likewise, majority of the men also they look for a successful woman.
We can't talk about we hustle and with the fair money.
When you like somebody, you first of all get for take care of whatever you like. Make them a priority.
We relationship and waiting people they expect from we man them.
You know, women are more emotional than men. If you start them, where you enjoy them, you go they come.
This not a side where we just they can't talk. This na brotherhood. Na side for let you see and feel what it really mean for we boy picky.
Sex is intimacy.
This na boys. So come na the bar, grab a chair, buy a drink, let we talk, chill and vibe. Cause this na boys who side with they shake the table.
You don't tire for your boku talk with no substance or sweet talk with plenty lie inside. Then now, na the time for strip the headlines bare and tell the story just like it is. Brutally Frank goes where others won't, exposing the real stories behind the headlines.
We tackle issues of maximum importance to the growth of Sierra Leone, from politics to the economy, agriculture, education, health, and tourism.
By serving as your voice in asking the why, where, how, and when questions to the people them we responsible. This na Brutally Frank.
This is Brutally Frank. Showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Slick TV, Channel 37, and streaming live on our Facebook page and official website.
Are you a lady going through issues in a relationship? You dey chop breakfast, you dey see pepper, my sister, you don't know who to talk to. Well, welcome to Girls Talk. Here on Girls Talk, we discuss everything that has to do with ladies and their relationships. Also, we get for the play entertaining and exciting games them. Not forget the gist part. Of course, Time Maggie get for the take place now. Always watch Girls Talk right here on Slick TV, Channel 37. Get them nice.
Welcome back from the quick break. Before we come and go deep into this conversation, I'll just bring to you a motivational quote for today, where it says, when the rules change mid-games, it's not just the players who lose, it's the integrity of the sport itself. I read again, when the rules change mid-game, it's not just the players who lose, it's the integrity of the sport itself. So this is our motivational quote for today. We come out from, to you from the Today Show. Before we come and lay the foundation of this discussion, we definitely want to tell you Usai it all started. Let me start for bring to you members of candidates then will be showing strong interest in going for the SLFA elective congress. Now, the first post we will take is Babadi Kamara. Currently, is the chairman of Bo Rangers Football Club, and of course, he also don't serve in the capacity as team manager of the national team. And many people, or a school of thought, would say, this is somebody who add value into the life of players. This is somebody who say, our football clubs can do better, more than the level of which we did so. We see in contribution in terms of infrastructure, he built a 6,000 stadium at the Southern Arena. He also built a clubhouse for Bo Rangers Football Club, and he don't make an immense contribution when he get to deal with the livelihood of players. Arguably, Bo Rangers is one of the most structurable club in terms of consistent paying their players, and in terms of getting the clubhouse, outside the players will live together. I think few of the clubs in this country, get a clubhouse to be proud of, but Bo Rangers don't set the foundation. And among the club, we win the Premier League in 3 consecutive seasons. But away from Babadi, let me look at Umaru Ba. Umaru Ba came into football when he was appointed as the chairman for Real Republicans. Real Republicans, one of the old ladies in Sierra Leone football, despite the fight so difficult right now, not the first division. And he also don't serve in two important capacities in football. The first one, he was appointed as the team manager for reserve team. When I say the reserve team, we local home-based players. He was appointed. When Babadi Kamara stepped down as team manager of the national team, he get the opportunity for to serve now as the team manager for the senior national team. He owns a club we call Sierra Fisheries. He also gets a women's club where they under in watch as chairman of the club. Then we run now to Madam Aminata Bangura. Well, we can't say too much about Madam Aminata Bangura, but what are the things that we wouldn't do with Richard and try to put together for the credibility of the show? We understand this is somebody we don't give partial support to FC Kalon as a club, to Slifa as a club. But to Slifa, there is a question where we don't try to put to the membership of Slifa or the executive of Slifa. 2 years back, Slifa was changed to Fritonian Slifa, and which Christopher Kamara, remember Nadia Selefe by then, they tell Benjamin Gordon, say, I'm the secretary, and even aware, say we'll get a club called Fritonian Slifa. The only club we'll get is Slifa. If you want to change Slifa to Fritonian Slifa, it should be documented, and if you follow due process. I was part of the privileged conversation that day faithfully. So we come to, as a surprise now, that Madam Bangura, don't they support Slifa? And what does the law says if they into the daily running of football? And there should be evidences of meetings we don't be part of. There is not much we can say about Aminata, but these are the few things. In commitment into football is something we can't say because we are still doing our research to look at in contribution. And finally, let's go now to Thomas Daddy Brahima. The incumbent president, he win the last elections 4 years down the line when he defeated Kofi Dinyako in Makeni at the Usum Hotel. But by then, Christopher Kamara was the Secretary General. We also play a significant role in leading to that Congress. Well, that does not mean that I support any candidate. He don't even support some of Daddy Brahima by then, I can tell you, but he go through the processes, which was the statutes and the code of ethics and the constitution, where give them the power as a football federation. He exhibit that. That was a very difficult Congress, I can tell you, from Kenema to Kabbalah to Makeni. That will be easy, a small fight. But Tomadadi Brahima, don't be disqualified for contest for the SLFA elections. Reason being that yesterday they were in court and the High Court's rule of no injunction on the Congress. So these are all the parameters why I don't set for you for build a strong foundation into this discussion. It could be a smooth, but definitely there are going to be some tough questions in the show this afternoon. We have one of the best in the country. We should be proud of Christopher Kamara, who's in the studios. He's the Secretary General, but he can confirm that any moment from now. It's a pleasure having you, and welcome to the Today Show. And I'm pretty sure we're having you for the very first time.
Thank you very much, certainly, and I want to thank Slick TV and then Epic Radio. Because when you tell me about Slick, I was like confused. I say Slick, Epic, but then later I come for no say it's one and the same. So I thank you very much. And thank you, Toby, for the introduction. And I hope we just will get a pleasant discussion here. We will help not just only the listeners, but the nation as a whole and people with they abroad will watch this program. Thank you.
We've learned a lot from you over the past years as journalists. I remember I said if they say, when a journalist only can film me, it's not a problem if they can't film me. Then I got my colleague they say, and they say, book too much, so you say. So I wonder let's start off this discussion now by looking, say, you don't be part of all of this wrangling. It's not new to you. You don't meet over very difficult membership. You don't meet over very strict EXCO. Let me start this discussion for look at. Are you still the Secretary General of the SLFA for confirmation?
Yeah, well, I can tell you, I say yes, but also something I can want for discuss, simply because let's wait. I get somebody with is an acting capacity. So maybe that can be determined at a future date, whether I continue or maybe I find something else to do with my life. But as I say, yes, I have a lot to contribute into football, and I've been doing it passionately.
Okay, let me start this. The issue we get to deal with, what are the ramifications in respect of what's not happened over the past years. You don't be part of a process where now you control the roadmap at that difficult period where for lead with to Congress during Thomas Daddy Brahma in era, having we don't work with Madam Aisha Yuansin. When it can reach into disqualifications of candidates, what are the processes?
Thank you very much. As you also in your introduction, you say, well, I quote you. You say Mina Bukman. And what? I love the topic, and I want to thank you so much. The topic says power play or fair play. And if you look at football, we do not have power play. We have fair play. That's the watchword of FIFA. For the good of the game, fair play. Now, if you look, one of the most prestigious award where in a competition where FIFA they give, the best award where FIFA recognize, but the fans they not acknowledge that. But the most prestigious award in football for FIFA, na fair play award. A fair play award talks about a healthy competition, acceptance of the rules of the game, respect for the rules of the game, adherence to the rules of the game, compliance with the rules of the game. And I can tell you for free, Toby, and the listeners, if you decide for play, comply, and follow the rules of the game, it becomes easier. Football done, which I can say, migrate from that era where people can consider and say, Narariman sports. No. Football is purely academic, football is purely scientific, and football is purely an art. It is an art because you get for Lanam. Playing football cannot transcend you to become a football manager. Being a football manager cannot transcend you for let you become somebody where they participate in the governance of the game. These are all different specialities. Now I make the game itself get 3 compartments. Let me make it again clear today. Football in its entirety, any football federation, association you see at the wall, now 3 compartments you get. And what are they? You get the governance compartment, which are the management aspect. You get the technical aspect, they get marketing and the media. Those are the 3. Any federation without that is a dead federation. The federation has to get the governance structure. And when we talk about the governance structure, I go to Article 19 of the statutes. We talk about what? The bodies of SLAFA. You get Congress, you get the executive body, we are the executive committee, and then you get the secretariat. That is the governance structure. And when you look at the governance structure, who heads Congress? It's the president, the man that heads the executive committee. And the president has a mandate with union elected body, the members, for 4 years. Okay? Yeah. The executive structure, you get 11 people in the executive structure. You get 6 where the Congress, they vote for them directly, and you get 5 where they come from regional football associations. The regional football associations here, the tenure or mandate, they vary depending on the time when they come into office. Now, if you listen, I do some teaching series where I'm very proud of, and I'm going to sound feedback, we tell you, say, if anybody argue, say the executive committee tenure has expired, that person does not know football. What has happened is that the president and the other 5 executive committee members, their own tenure has expired. But there are 5 executive committee members whose tenure still they run. And according to the statute, it says for let SLFA executive committee engage in a healthy debate, take a decision, they forget at least 5 people. Okay. So the regional association chairman, they will all get mandate where they run concurrently to speak, then get the mandate for steer the ship of SLFA till we get an election, for get an elected party. I also mentioned, say, this is the first time FIFA did not extend the mandate of the executive when it comes to an end. We've seen situation, for example, the Madam Aisha Yuansin.
So how we come about, because I want to pick what you say. that for extend, there is a two-word now, that anybody would think, say, the duration of the executive, now the SLFA, after 4 years, that person ain't no football. Can you please break down for me, which make you feel, say, after 4 years, the executive, you as Secretary General of the SLFA, now get power by them for take to Congress?
Thank you very much. Why did I say so? I tell you, see, the legitimate mandates now for 4 years. Let's use a case study. The Thomas Dadi Brema executive was elected on the 5th of June 2021. So on the 5th of June 2025, their mandate ends. Okay? The FIFA governance unit and the member association department of FIFA, in compliance with the FIFA Council, get the mandates for tell that president and the executive for continue steering the affairs of the federation until a new leader is being elected. But in this situation, FIFA did not. FIFA told the acting general secretary that the executive mandate has ended and the earlier an election is being held, the better. So what can tell you that the president and we for be the moral guarantor, we for be the person where they steer the ship, we for be the commander-in-chief, we for be the person where they carry the boats, his mandate has ended. Despite it be the fight for re-election, because again, there is no incumbency in football. We don't have incumbency in football. If you look at the rules, it is very clear. When your mandate ends, you have to get a fresh mandate. And for you to have that fresh mandate, you dey contest like any other person. I be the listen here today, where you dey give a profile. And I want to tell you, say, Toby, probably what you may have done can be very challenging or perceived by some people that you may have not done justice. Even though what you've said is correct, is the right thing to do, but probably some people, like for example, out of the 4 candidates the way you talk about, there is one with no history. 0 history. Madam Amina Talangua. I can say this anywhere. 0 history. And from what you say, at the court what you say, that she has been giving support. Define the word active participation. But I am not in that capacity simply because the structures of football have already cleared. The electoral committee don't clear say she has met the electoral requirements. The ethics board say no, she did not. She has integrity issues. On that, they've disqualified her. But the electoral committee, in don't give provisional clearance, subject to integrity test check. So I want people to understand why they say this. And they say this based by the books. Okay? And I want more people with too many quote on statutes. Okay? But what I just say, for a layman for understand, is that this executive then gets a mandate for 4 years. If that mandate done, for let them continue now office stay, then go to elections. FIFA, now they give that approval day. But in this situation, FIFA not do them. So if FIFA not do them, then we have to continue with the existing structure.
I want to go back. You remember the Tamba Betua case of the Moimba District Football Association?
Yes.
We take the matter to court and then slam an injunction on the second ordinary Congress.
Yes.
Before we don't take place. I think I've been Radisson before you end up now at Catco Hotel. So what are the difference between the Tamba Betua matter, despite these were all Congress matters, we feel like say they don't follow due process? What is the difference now when the courts don't decide for slam an injunction on the case where the camps of Tomodadi Brema take to High Court? But this may be something similar, which for the Moimba District Football Association then decide for slam an injunction. So what are the difference between the
Thank you very much. There is a huge difference. The SLFA, let me go by Justice Ganda ruling as at yesterday. What did Justice Ganda ruled? He clarifies, say, one, it was a premature litigation, Islam costs. You know why he mentioned to that?
No.
Because he said the one that will take the matter to court, okay? The one that will file then cases here to court, refuse or fail for use the SLFA existing structures, the SLFA judicial bodies. SLFA has, I don't tell you this, the SLFA has 2 independent structures. They get the independent committees. And what are they? The electoral committee and electoral appeals committee. They have the judicial body. Then the judicial body are like a court itself. Then get the SLFA, they get the disciplinary committee, they get the ethics board, they get the appeals committee. But you know the difference, so as I mentioned to you, say they are different.
Yeah.
Let me show you the difference there. When Madam Aisha Yohansin left office, before she left office, she left on the 5th of June 2021, right? Toby?
Yes, sorry.
I recall you, it was in Kabbalah, we went to Potloko. In Potloko, in 2019, the statute of the SLFA was adopted. This 2019 statutes that they use today, as amended, was adopted by Congress. In 2020, these judicial bodies were elected in Kenema, you can recall. And if they elect them in Kenema, they had a 4-year mandate. President Brahma came in 2021. By 2023, what did he do? He go back before Congress, he made and dissolve all them bodies there.
Was he right in doing that?
Would they come to that? The legality of it. But let me tell you side the mistake there. In the absence of the legal structures within football will not tell you if you're going to court, and I'm against it. But again, in that situation, I listen an argument where it talks say, if the SLFA by itself don't destroy the own legal system, don't ban the own legal system, and did not reconstitute them, who say you want to pass away feel agree for go? Waiting different now. It's different in this situation because now then they. So that is why the judge say, before you don't come to me, go use your own legal system. That's the difference. In Tamabetua's case, Tamabetua could have been kicked out again the same way this one was done, simply because if there were existing judicial system where President Brahma meets in our office, he not be dissolve them. Even if he tell Congress for dissolve, what he could have done is you dissolve and reconstitute. Before you go for dissolution, the first thing you do is you get names of new people, you vet them, then go through integrity test check, and you reconstitute some committees there. Because then committees here, even they are above you, the president. These are the courts of football.
Because they're the highest body in Congress.
It's not Congress, now they elect them, now Congress, now they dissolve them. So how do you go to Congress and dissolve your own courts? You, the president, you go to Congress, you request on Congress and dissolve your own courts. We don't dissolve your courts now. Then cases then begin come. Who say you want the posting?
Now, before we get, I'll forget some straight clarity. The SLFA president, an executive president, or you get the right for take decision rather than sitting within EXCO official. Because making this point right now, the blame game is only to the president, thinking, say, he's not an executive president. He also get for sit with the executive and make decision. Who dissolve these committees? Singularly, not the president or the members?
Why they talk football?
Yes.
Why they talk football? If you look at the statute of SLAFA, it says the president represents SLFA legally.
Okay. Yes, yes.
When you talk about FIFA, yes, you talk about Gianni Infantino. Okay?
Yeah.
But in football, we don't have an executive president. We have a president backed by the executive committee. Now, the president represents the SLFA legally and is charged with the responsibility of implementing decisions of the executive committee, which is part of and serve as chairperson, Congress, standing committees, and all other ad hoc committees that can be set up for that purpose. That is the mandate of the president. He does not have powers. Article 34 give the executive committee powers. Now, the only body will get powers in the administrative structure of football and at the board level, then get powers. So, what in the president they do? A responsibility now for ensure in compliance with the secretariat for implement decisions done by the executive committee. Toby, I will tell you for free. We are dragged before the High Court for corruption charges. Myself as General Secretary and the President, okay? One of the reasons after God will make the acquit and discharge we. Now the fact say, the Executive Committee of SLFA looking at the powers of the Executive Committee, go na court before Justice Reginald Finn and testify say, all waiting Madam Aisha Johansson do, he not do one in a capacity as President. All waiting Chris Kamara implement, he don't do one because in capacity as General Secretary. Chris Kamara and Madam Aisha Johansson acted upon the directive and instructions and decisions of the Executive Committee of SLAFA. So more or less that delegated responsibilities will be do. That is how football is.
All right.
For anything that has to be done in the FA, Yeruwa can talk, I tell you say it has to be done by the Executive Committee. There are two powerful bodies. The Executive Committee on administrative and executive matters. Congress on legislative matters. Those are the two bodies. And any other organ within that, you get for be an implementation organ. So let me put the understanding, say, the president by himself cannot singular or unilaterally. It was him and his executive committee. So how you go destroy your own courts? The Congress, you not reconstitute the courts. Then the members, then they want for seek justice. The member, they want they get litigation. The member, they say, so say they expect the person for go. That's the first question. So for me, when I was sent on leave, I sent a message to the president that, Mr. President, that was the biggest mistake. I hope the president will listen to me. He said, Chris, but I said, Mr. President, you may have reasons for dissolve, but you just do not dissolve and leave it like that. So how can you run an FA without judicial bodies? Tell me, how can Salon run without judiciary?
Before you go on leave, then committee have been functioning before you go on leave.
Fully fledged. I can give you examples. That was one of you remember the ethics board. You remember the ethics board be right say, I should go on suspension. Headed by Drusille Taylor.
Okay.
I was brought before the ethics committee, not because I committed any offense, but because I'm the general secretary, and then decisions them, not knowing that initially, the general secretary, now these people don't understand. The general secretary, they only implement decisions on the directive of the president. That's what the statute says.
But this is the case now. That's exactly what the statute says.
And they come. So there were situations we are in. The ethics board, they take decisions. The ethics board, they request for resources. The ethics board, they ask for logistics for do their work. There were challenges. When I present to them, I tell them, say, most of these things, I have not gotten the approval from the president for implementing them. They took it on me and sent me on suspension. But when I put up a strong defense before, I go back before the courts. I wrote to the courts. I give me justification as backed up by authorities. Then lifts the suspension on me with immediate effect. And I get the backing of the executive committee. Say, yes. The president take upon himself that, yes, I told him not to do it. So, at that time, the courts listen. What did the courts do the next thing now? Then go on the president. So in that situation, I can give you two instances we read about. One of the instances now where they write the president for explain why he publicly campaigned with a political party.
Is he wrong in doing that?
Look at the regulations.
Is he wrong in doing that?
I
don't forget a yes or no, sir, because I want to make
no, at the come to it. If you look at the president has to be apolitical. You being the president of the federation, you have to be apolitical.
Now the president no more that clause the day for you.
No, everybody in football at the camp.
But there are a lot of members who don't violate that by the FA. So are we just pointing fingers?
That is where I'm coming with it. You allow me.
Yes.
It wasn't just the president. It was Mr. Ali Badara Tarawali. He was campaigning to become mayor of Port Loko.
And he
did the same mistake. It was the same mistake that was done by Mr. Kwekulisk. He was also campaigning to become the deputy mayor of APC, now Freetown. So these three individuals were brought to answer. So instead of complying with the court, what happened? The executive table for them and dissolved the courts. And because they question you for dissolve courts, and when you dissolve the court, you say you're not comfortable with the individuals, so they participate, because not to you appoint them. But it was the court. That court was constituted by Congress, not you. The same body that elected you as president and gave you mandate for 4 years, that was the same body that elected those bodies and gave them mandate for 4 years. Why you back can go to before Congress and tell them, say, we not dissolve these bodies them and not want to say why they run me governance? Imagine, I will give an example, a general example to you to be. Imagine one day, His Excellency the President, Dr. Julius Madabiu, retired brigadier, just woke up and say, una dissolve for me, Parliament, una dissolve for me the judiciary, and no one no courts. Who's that person to go if you get issue?
But let's say now.
So I hope you've understood what I mean, somewhere come at.
Yes.
And I know they say this, let me make a very clear disclaimer here. I am not saying this to attack anybody. You bring me here for discourse,
yes,
whether it is what?
Fair play,
or power play.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So all the decision, you definitely feel say they are fair play and transparent decision from the ethics board.
At the camp first. Before I come to that, I look outside the error then they.
From which hand? The
error first is from the SLFA executive committee led by the president. One, you not allow constitutionality for follow. You disregard constitutionality. Two, you dissolve the courts the way you meet, wait for listen to sporting matters. I will tell you for free. Those courts, if they were in existence, therefore don't help Thomas Daddy Brima.
Therefore don't help him.
How?
In as much as if you know.
You go ask me how.
Yeah, definitely go ask you how.
How then go help Thomas Daddy Brima? Simply because today fingers have been pointed that the one the way they serve na them committees here, then they assist candidates there. When I was conducting the elections of 2021, did you ever hear that kind of allegation? No. Simply because now that same body day, the outgoing ethics board, that court, Now, responsibility for do an integrity chest check on any individual whether they elect back for can serve in that capacity. So if that body then know they would that do the integrity chest check on the names that we then submit to SLAFA, where SLAFA present for elections by the Congress. When are they will do also now? When are they can disqualify that Ibrahima? So assuming that ethics board may be there, Bruce Taylor in ethics board, led ethics board, that ethics board could have looked at the names and it tell you say, you woman, you girlfriend, you boyfriend, you mama, you papa, you brother, you sister, any other person. Once they get relation with somebody where they open a SLAFA, where they manage SLAFA, where they serve in the standing committees of SLAFA, that person not for hold that position there. So now this ethics board for don't do the background check and integrity chest check. This thing we don't do on Thomas Daddy Brahma and Madam Aminat and any other person, they say for don't do one to the committee, I will check them the issue there.
That Bruce Taylor, your
own committee, and then for don't look at the names there where they come in. And tell SLFA say, no, we don't see this, it's not correct. This is correct for serve. That time they pick and well. But you dissolve them back, not they.
All right. Well, let me just allow you for rest a bit. Let me also talk to, we'll bring to you shortly, waiting Siraji Williams Kamara, being talked to with young reporter Mohammed Collier. This is somebody as well who we don't get an intention over the years for go for an exco position at SLFA. He's a wealthy, experienced man in terms of football governance. Let me listen to waiting Siraji Williams Kamara, being talked to Mohammed Collier in this interview.
As an individual, if you feel aggrieved, he can request for put the Congress on hold, but he cannot because no two executive presidents we get, and besides FIFA be not sanctioned say election must go on or before August 2. So, and that the Brahma they work under the precinct of FIFA, so he cannot go against that. Anything they want, they not set him aside, but still like we didn't say. He did not pull him as FA president, but then tell him say no for contest. That means say as long as he gets time for to election, he can still perform the duties and responsibilities of a president. So now I make them think say if I write a check for the hosting of the Congress, which of people say no suspend and then say no cover no go do them. But those are all petty reasoning. Yeah. He do the right thing, but he also wrong. As I said, in fundamental human rights, for say if you feel wronged, you will go to a higher authority for a redress, But it's not right because, as you say, the statute frown at that. But the statute too not completely frown, but you say if you get for go to a body outside FIFA, you must have exhausted all possible avenues, and maybe it will have gone to the elections appeals committee and wait for the ruling. When they're not satisfied, maybe they can present their case to FIFA. When not satisfied, they can kind of court. And from court, they can go now to court of arbitration for swatting a case. But an office say they exhausted all those avenues concurrently. I think just bundle up everything, say then appeals court, and then a high court in Barcelona, then a case, But it had to be like one ruling. They throw the other one for redress. Yeah. Cast the response to the SLFA give that they forget regular hearing, not to fast track courts they want. So, and I think as that response, they have to send some correspondence. Because not to say in a magistrate's court, can begin call witness this and now you document they speak for yourself. Understand? So in the event CAS give right, then the body will charge with the responsibility of football and the World FIFA, then go interpret the ruling or implement them as they think fit, But time and again, we see say FIFA don't sanction say the election for hold on the date. And so I believe say they are very comfortable with what is going on. Had they not been, then for don't say no. Now that in case let's put the Congress on hold. But so far so good. I think it's not just an internal noise now within Salon about this. But out there, nothing gets any issue. Because I'll tell you, CAF they know the regularly what they happen. So also FIFA. So if they think say what they go, healthy for the smooth running of the game and by extension the hosting of the Congress, then go to advise otherwise, Delegates and archaeologists, when they ask me that question, I can say a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. If you don't believe, say, waiting you work, so at the sense in agree. If I call a red, you now can't tell me saying agree. It wants me believe saying I read, no will convince me. And that's how it has been with delegates, Congress with delegates. Before now, in the past 10 years, we they get some half-baked administrators they go represent the clubs and the region. And so they would come offer you money and the highest bidder or the first can get it take an oath, now it follow. But nowadays, at this enlightenment don't come, even coaches, when are technical people, they are so enlightened, even in some administrative thing. So nobody's left out by the entire for no say. Waiting they go on is purely administrative, and it has to be you get for understand them. That you cannot have all these years to jumble up. So I want to appeal to the delegate and say, now the chances they get for change football in cause. Regardless who gave you money, what have you, bring in voting for somebody who thinks say it go take the game higher. We will not go be a liability to FIFA, because before now the clubs were stronger than the FA, SLFA. Until FIFA begin pouring in money, and this Sonko coming. So once somebody will take us from that situation and say, with or without FIFA's funds, we are going ahead and develop the present to exist, like the female football, youth football, maybe school leagues back for make we identify talent them. All of this should come. So the delegates. Now, when I get that responsibility for determining who will come and do that. And I wish everybody where they go, let vote with in conscience. Yes, anybody can meet you and put Bora, eat them, not to swear. But when you vote for the wrong thing and the wrong purpose, then you go end yourself into a wealth of regret. This is saloon football, and I think we all got a part to play. And I also wish that whosoever emerges as winner, when after Congress, let call a fumble talk. I always had this talk for the past almost year. Lord get fumble talk. Lord meet as a fumble. Lord discuss football. That man will go support to their life until they get better idea past the senior administrator of the club on the team. So let's open the space. And so let the best man win on Saturday and let football grow.
Thank you very much, Mohamed Kollia, for that good interview with somebody where as well they don't show desire 4 years down the line that I want to be an ex-official when Siraji Rollins Kamara. I will bring you in for Yusuf Phyllis in Kinley. So within Honorable Siraji Rollins Kamara say, and he's somebody who don't close into the game of football for several years. I want to let we look at forgery and falsification, because when I own statutes, it spelled out clearly condemning the act. But again, Secretary General, don't you think owner as well don't violate the constitution of the SLFA, allowing the wrong deeds to happen in the SLFA? So break down for we the area of Daddy Brahma and disqualification when the ethics committee look at and say, yeah, for the writ falsification, misappropriations of funds.
I think, thank you very much. If you look at the provision, there is a regulation what they call the Ethics Code.
Yeah.
The Ethics Code and Regulation 2020. Before 2020, the Sierra Leone Football Association don't get their own domesticated Ethics Code. So they rely on the FIFA.
Okay, that was the time when they say anything, they say FIFA.
Thank you. They not be understand say. Now I make if you say I ensure with the support of the executive committee led by Madam Aisha Johansson, we bring in consultants and with the support also of FIFA and CAF, I ensure say today everything we talk, the documentation is done by us. Today we have the disciplinary code. Today we have the ethics code and regulation. We have a sound statute 2019, even though therefore review them now because of FIFA can always say every 4 year member association, then they do their own almost every year. So that's very clear. So as I rightly say, specifically you talk about, you call Article 15. You see, forgery and falsification. That's Article 15 of the Ethics Code. But again, for people where they listen, I want me to understand, say, at this particular, we call them point 2, the rules of the code. This particular point from Rule 10 to Rule 16, all they talk about the offenses where they commit. Where this code, they only culpable. And by the way, Toby, if you are into football, be it at the SLAFA level, at regional level, at district level, at club level, for as long as you are into football, official, manager, player, whatever, you are bound by this code. That is, you are bound for comply with the directives of this code. And this code, they able to shape you. Mind you, here we talk about ethical issues. And they can say in ethics, most times, I can give me own layman definition of ethics. It's in our principles of conduct where they govern the ordering of values. So it's briefly they talk about how you conduct yourself, how you behave yourself professionally in relation to what the sport dictates. If you look at the code itself, it will tell you, say, Article 11, bribery. Article 12, misappropriation of funds. Article 13, manipulation of football matches or competition. Article 14, commission. Article 15, forgery and falsification. Article 16, abuse of office. So these are the offenses.
But they only take 2 articles from that.
It depends on the petitioner. It depends on the petitioner.
I want to look at what the ethics board rule on.
The ethics board rule on Article 15, forgery and falsification. And he say Article 15(1), officials and or person bound by this code are forbidden. You get the word? Forbidden from forging a document, falsifying an authentic document, or using a forged or falsified documentation. And Article 15(2) say, violation of this article shall be sanctioned by an appropriate fine, at least 5,000, that is the old money, or 5 million, the old money, 5 million, and 5,000 in new money. And he say, as well as ban on taking part in all football-related activities for a maximum period of 2 years. So the ethics board, now these people never understand. You look at the offenses, you look at the rule that they breach. So for begin call, you trivialize the penalty, or you trivialize the offense, it doesn't make sense. When I was dragged to court, I was given one of the 11 count charges where they give me anti-corruption, say, it say me convert institutional property to my personal use.
Or the suitcase saga?
Not to the suitcase.
Okay.
Imagine you can work in a Slick TV. Slick TV will provide you a computer. You buy your own computer, now your computer you use officially. Anti-corruption not look at that angle, then look at waiting in at the Anti-Corruption Act for profile charges against me. That is the same thing. Don't trivialize what you take now for police clearance. No. Article 15, he was accused of forging and falsification. That's what he was accused of.
And he could have started.
And he was found culpable for breaching that particular code, Article 15, forgery and falsification. And for that penalty, they are very clear. And you see again, when they go to court, you see waiting the landed judge rule on. Me na layman, me not a lawyer. What did he say? That you refuse. He call him premature. It's a premature case, litigation. Because you were forewarned. Then tell you, say, no canaya. The ethics board will take decision on you. Tell you, say, no canaya this court. It give you an instruction. That these people don't understand. They were told to go to CAS. So the ethics board, it was a directive that if you are appeal this decision, the only court will ask you for go appeal this decision at CAS. If you grab, you left that instruction there. You grab, you go to the ordinary courts. That in itself, again, you don't abrogate the rules. And mind you, how can you be an outgoing president when the law says, the FIFA statute says it's forbidden, the SLFA statute says it's forbidden, the code of the CAS code say it is.
But do you think, Mr. Kamara, do you think, do you think Thomas Daddy Bremer, the first year where he run for the president of the SLFA, where he win, all this process of forgery and falsification, you want to say our process will not been passed through in the last election, and waiting on change now way, then find guilty according to the ethics.
Thank you very much. In the 2021 elections, the structures were there. The policies, the guidelines, and everything. And he went through the integrity test check. He passed the integrity test check. He went through the electoral requirements. He passed her. So there was no problem. Now he don't kind of office. These are offenses where he commit where in the office now, not only one kind of office.
Which are?
That is between 2021 to 2025.
Can we back up this discussion with few? Maybe you get few evidences or few.
And they tell you, say,
all right, yeah.
I know they go into specifics. And they repeat, I know they represent somebody. And they talk here like a football expert. What was the offense committed? There is a breach of the SLFA Code of Ethics 2020, where say Article 15, forgery and falsification. It says persons bound by this code are forbidden for falsified documents, for forged documents, for present falsified documents. So if there are situations where the ethics board don't say, indeed, these individuals in reviewing the documentation, where they count before them, and in the interview where they undertake, Toby, and they can't go back into that specifics. What I will say is, you get the appellate angles there, and one is going to the court of sport for arbitration. But what did they do? One, they go to the ordinary courts. So the ordinary court back don't go tell you, say, for Kaya for she wrong. Now I made them find them 240,000 leons or 240 million. Say they for pay unto SLFE because they were told. Now I call them premature litigation. You were told not to come here, then you can't be. So you don't begin to see the element of you not complying with rules, decisions, directive, and statutes. What I begin to talk about? One way you can dissolve the courts.
But this is the same court with Islam and injunction. We will not even get a functionable committees running.
That's what I'm trying to say. I said the situations, they're quite different. This court now, what did they do? When they don't say you get courts, they tell you, say, no, for don't count, we go back to your courts.
Okay. Okay.
You don't see different.
Okay.
As in the case of Betua, your court, you don't close her. So courts not be there for good.
So it's only similar like they got the Michael issue.
Thank you. And look at Rodney. When Rodney was told, go to CAS, now they run go straight. Rodney not go to appeals committee, Rodney not go to the ordinary court, he go straight and he go get justice. Okay? And even in injustice where he gets, you see say they impute in because the court of sport for arbitration, when they give the ruling, then they call them awards. In the award, then tell Mr. Michael, say, for that attempt during where you defect Slaffer, where you can go to the ordinary court, that money where ethics boards fine you, go pay him to Slaffer. And he paid. So what I'm trying to say is, again, while I look at the angle and the listeners, look at the element of impunity, the element of non-compliance to rules, non-compliance to directives, non-compliance to statutes. And if you look at Article 10, we talk about membership, list the members of SLAFA. You look at Article 11, Article 12. Article 12, they tell you, say, for let you become a member of SLAFA, individually they become members. You get club, you get regional associations, you get district association, you get professional bodies. For the want of the listeners, then the three professional bodies who get, you get the referees association, you get the coaches association, you get the retired football heroes, who they call veteran. Okay? He said, when you know they can become president or being at the executive of SLAFA if you not come up from one of them bodies there. So if you, now they force you for no, what did he tell you? If you now an official, a player, a coach, and anybody or a manager or owner of a club, we want to be part of the owner membership of SLAFA, he said you for comply with the decision, directives, regulation, statutes of SLFA, WAFU, CAF, and FIFA at all times. So in the governance of you in the office, you are expected to comply with what? The decisions, the rules, the regulation. So if you come, you kick all that out. Say, no, me, I don't need them in my own governance. How do you expect? Forget a self-view. I will not live in a banana republic. Okay. We are guided by rules. The sport is guided by rules and regulations. I said that they the mistake there. The mistake first is you kill system. You kill structure. And you cannot run football by that. And they say this openly as a professional.
Well, you are definitely. When I really thinking the way they make those points, I definitely remember, and I just believe the other school of thought go on, still I think the same. You work with Thomas Daddy Brima.
Yes.
Now, when you left, these committees were dissolved.
Thank you.
Right? When you left, and
yes.
Dissolved. So, in as much as you are still the Secretary General and sending on leave.
And I will say this, I will make this comment
don't
now.
You think
if I was in office, those committees will never have been dissolved?
Let's say you still in office, now leave you go. Yeah. Because that is how over the past years we don't know now leave you go.
Yeah.
You are still a substantive sector of the SLFA. Now let's say you know all of this, that these committees has been dissolved. Waiting up your line of action as you have still a secretary of staff to the SLFA.
I will say this again on TV. I reach out to the president. Even before the Congress, when I knew. I reach out to the president. Yes.
Okay.
Mr. President, that grapevine, You go shock you for no say. Even me where they live, imagine an employee. Then go put on a Congress agenda, say for go sack me in a Congress.
Which of the Congresses?
This last Congress where they get in a Katko. So you know say people just they do something. I they go dismiss. Na Congress employ the General Secretary. The General Secretary is an employee. The General Secretary has a contract. The General Secretary is employed by the Executive Committee of SLAFA. Now the Executive Committee, they employ the General Secretary. Now they hire, now they fire. How you go left hire and fire? You take Chris Kama, we're not a member of SLAFA. You can't go to Congress. So you don't see how people they. And again, this inexperienced set of people who don't go read general law. One can jump into a professional trade without having the experience. And that's a disaster.
We have lawyers all over.
We now get all kind of Tom, Dick, and Harry. They interpret the rules of football. Simply because they call themselves, I have read law. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I am a graduate. I have my specialty. I am a general secretary of Football Association. I am not a coach. Even though I get technical education.
Yeah.
I have distinction when I do my master's in executive management from Nelson Mandela University and FIFA. But I can never call myself a coach. Because I respect the coach. FIFA and CAF says that coach has to get a license. So Adekam, how you go call Chris Kamara say? And again, Toby, I am a well-trained and qualified referee. In 2003, have you ever had Chris Kamara call himself a referee? No, because I never practiced it. But what you get here so today, their lawyer here, we don't go read general law, then they can't interpret football rules. The other day I asked one simple question. If they talk about the laws of the game, now ask and say, do you have for God and heaven's sake? Waiting a lot 10. He say he waiting the so. I say, but now you read they talk about say they not apply the rules and that's say you see.
So now, I just let me go back. Let me go back to a flyer or put out. You have to deal with fair play and power. Now, in all of this process, do you think we don't get a level playing field with fair play, or do you think powers of high authority don't they influence on the process of the elections?
I will tell you one thing clearly, and I will say it here with pride, that I have never seen any iota of government, political influence in this electionary process. You know the reason why?
No.
Look at the candidates. Look at the geography of the candidates, where they came from. Look at the candidates. And it also will shock you, say, if that by political alignment, I will also make this statement here, that 69% of everybody where they contest in that people and 69% of them are all APC driven in an SLPP government.
Will they contest for the election?
For all the one that they contest for this election, 69% of them are APC driven. I'll give you an example.
It's a very strong statement.
Based on this is what I say, based on alignment. The mayor of Potloko is contesting for the vice president position. One.
Mm-hmm.
The deputy mayor of...
Is that not an ethical issue?
No, we've looked at Adekam again.
Okay.
Adekam again.
Yes, I'll for
they told you need to be apolitical in the discharge of your functions. They did not say you should not hold political positions. I was in Montego Bay in 2019 when we look at the structure of encouraging investors coming into football and investing in football. If you look today, major portion of people, the way they run football across the world, come from the state institutions and the country there. Simply because these are established, people with wealth, people that we get a strong background, people that we get career. You not just go left the sport, say to the one that we don't play football. What if they cannot afford it? So there was that strong drive. Now I make you see FIFA they push say every member association forget very good relationship with the sitting government. You cannot be running football, you get a parallel view with the sitting government. Simply because the FIFA funding in only, not to just for run federation, it's not enough.
The issue about third party or government interference, Secretary General, is something I'll let you break for we.
That is very clear.
Forget a bit.
FIFA is bitter talking about third party or government interference. Now I talk about the autonomy of member association. But even though you get your autonomy, for example, in this entire electionary process, I have never had a word from the Ministry of Sports or the NSC cautioning, supervising, interfering into the operations. No. The acting general secretary is in the office, running football with the support of FIFA and the independent committees. So what am I saying here? If you had allowed this structure where you meet, that structure for don't help you. Never, I repeat, never kill systems. Never discard policies when you are giving a job.
When you talk about the word help, do you think then for them at least bend within the constitution?
No, I am not saying the bend. That's when you allow systems and processes, it will help mold and guide your operations as an officer of that department or that unit. It will help mold. The policies are there for guide you. Because human beings can be distracted. Human beings can be swayed away. You already hear singers them. Oh, you are the president. Oh, man, you can't know that. You are the best person. You don't listen to nobody. You are the president. What you want for do am? You should be that Saloma style. When you do an above, nobody know they do you. You the faithful realize say today, when the laws they don't catch up with you, you don't realize say, and you follow the rules. I can tell somebody say, I don't listen to somebody say, but Salona lawless state. Anything you want for do not say no because you've not been caught to the law yet. Yeah. The day when the law catch you, now they don't say what you do to law. Okay? When I went through the Anti-Corruption Commission in my trial, I learned a lot. I'm not taking it personal. I take it as a learning stage for me. And guess what, Toby? It helped me a lot in my growth as a young man. There were things who are not be the take say they were important. For example, I will tell you one of the things that will save me in that court case. You know that one thing? Right. That is asking for every payment. I must have an approval and I must have a retirement receipt and a jokuta. You can't tell me, hey, no, Usa go buy this. No, sir. You have to produce evidence of one, receiving the money and also spending the money. You know, say Saloma not left for sign for something.
Let's go back to misappropriation of funds. Fambul, definitely we'll try for see how we open the floor. Like we said, will be part of this conversation. Let me also talk about other issue relating to these SLFA elections. Now, it's very difficult for say an incumbent face disqualification in SLFA elections. Then misappropriation of fund. Few years we've been at the SLFA, you mentioned that whether it's a financial restriction or we're under financial ban. I couldn't remember the actual word we use. But the president is also done under financial ban. So if we look at funds where don't be misappropriated by Thomas Dade Brahma with under financial restrictions, how can someone believe that we will not say funds will come out from FIFA are already tagged for purposes?
Thank you very much. I have not sat here and I never say the president misappropriate funds.
No, I'm not like what you say. I'm not saying
no,
that.
Let me be clear because on the question, let us not misunderstand.
Yeah, not about you, not to you talk.
Yes.
Fine.
Now you raise the issue up.
Yes.
There are bodies responsible to investigate that. I understand, say the Anti-Corruption Commission, they do the investigation, and I leave it to them.
Yeah.
I understand, say FIFA get to the call the central review. I leave it to them. I can ask Click TV. You can go down to the secretariat and get one-on-one with them. Today, I think we'll get it in the open information bill bar where everybody get right for provide, because SLF is a public body. Even though a private company limited by guarantee, but also SLFA gets that public face. And also SLFA is a member of the National Sports Authority, and SLFA is also under the supervision of the NSA and the Ministry of Sport. So they get right for open the information to you, i.e. giving you their books, i.e. giving you their audited reports, i.e. giving you the management letter, so that you go see for yourself and then you scrutinize them. But I rightly say, and I keep saying this is a learning, a lesson to everybody. When you assume office, don't disregard rules, don't disregard statutes, don't disregard regulation for suit your own personal comfort. No, the rules are there for guide we. We're not in a kangaroo environment or within a banana republic. Now we are guided, we are human beings. That's the distinction between a human being and an animal. Wherein it tells you, say, our lives are guided by rules. Now I make law day. Now I make regulation day. Now I make policy day. When you are there to then think day, if now they can't take into you, some man will say, no, this is an advantage. I'll give you an example. I repeat, it will be the statutes, the regulation, the rules. Now then free Madam Aisha and Chris Kamara. No, Toby, you know that 99% of people in this country, they talk, say, therefore convict we. Because people never knew. But when we go before the courts, everything was tabled.
You silence over the years. Also, we bring within that public perspective in respect of which we will discuss. We'll bring it to you shortly. Most people now will say, why now you don't become visible since then senior on the leave? Are there any purpose, or you are just trying to guide the process, let people know, say, you are not bittered, by the way, just decide for keep quiet, but other school of thought will say, why is Christopher Kamara now doing a public lecturing when we are close to the election? Are you doing this for any intended purpose?
I tell you for free, if we would they live in a knowledge economy now, and besides the knowledge economy, would they live under what we call a theory or a trajectory of artificial intelligence?
Yes.
I not like for brag, but academics. But I get somebody where they admire, now like a mentor. They are two. Dr. Kande Junkela, he give me public lecture in Germany when I do my masters on renewable energy. And of course, the man will be then a Massachusetts, where today they serve as the chief minister, Dr. Senge. When you follow the two parts, the parts of those two individuals, their excellence and growth in public life don't guide it for mold me. I am doing this for public education, not to go after anybody. If you listen to tapes then, why did they become so interesting? And I think we will discuss something now we get for common tape today. You mentioned say something they float on social media. If you listen to tapes there, you see a learning process for people.
Or you also don't speak to the flow on social media?
No, right? I just tell you, maybe you want to bring something more.
Yeah, we are bringing that before close, yes.
You see say, it's a learning process. Even the one that we be, let's say you have the Salomon day. Salomon not like two. The two bitter, but he had to swallow. For God and heaven's sake. Not to Thomas Daddy Brahma no more take the decision for send me on leave. It was an executive committee decision. Led by Thomas Daddy Brahma. And why don't sit down here? I don't clearly say what in the book say. What the book says? The books of Slaffer. You, excuse me, can't with a contrary review, can't say what in Christ they say not correct. Produce the evidence. I don't tell you from the what you can call say the relationship between FIFA, CAF, and SLFA. I don't tell you about the local laws. And if then you break down, I remember you mentioned one, you make one comment where it talks in a one group say, I just wish they had listened to Chris. I remember the last program with Taplima. You had Taplima. Say we wish we had followed. Some of them tear away, they say.
All right. As really don't go above time right now. There is something with the float on social media. We cannot confirm right now whether it is true or not. But in this country they live, for any, they can say Kongosa, it must get small amounts of truth in them. There is a news, we don't want to confirm it on Slick Television, but this is something where we don't see, and we don't even post some in the social media handle, which we can defend that. How we understand, well, at the time in this context, that one of the candidates might run for the elections, which is Madam Aminata Bangura. We cannot confirm right now, but these are something we see from the corridors. Within CAS they look at, how does CAS work? How does CAS reinstate Aminata Bangura, where if Aminata Bangura be reinstated, where the ethics board already don't say in documents we are not complete, then disqualifying for contest for the election. Waiting CAS wouldn't say, and how this go jeopardize the integrity of the ethics board if it found that Madam Aminata Bangura is running for the race.
Thank you very much. I think say again today, people who come for don't say Chris is not after anybody. I don't tell you say the court of arbitration is quite different from the normal courts. The two parties, the appellant and the respondent, for any action or for any movement, the two parties get for agree. So I want let people to understand. When Madam Aminata under Rule 47 presenting case to CAS, in appeals to CAS, it indicates what they call the appeal brief. And in the appeal brief, it asks for reliefs. One of the relief then we ask for now a stay of execution. You go one for equate. I'm not a lawyer. You go one for equate a stay of execution. That is prevent slaff and not for older event until they listen to the case to an injunction. So he asks for a stay of execution. The other thing again, they ask for a stay of the decision. So there are two parties. So what happened? Where SLFA, they also ask for an expedited trial. Where SLFA they reply, and also they introduce the lawyers. And by the way, now Paolo Potecci they represent Madam Aminata. This is not the lawyer we represent Rodney Michael before. Okay? Then SLFA is being represented by Eternal Legal Advisory, where you get lawyer Africano Sorisisi, you get Brema Kuruma, you get Simaman's Conte and the rest, and they represent Slafa. So I tell you, say, for anything when the appellant request the arbitration court, now an arbitration court, the respondents get for agree. If they not agree, the courts no they proceed with that. So what if first SLFA do? When SLFA lawyers they respond to the application, the appeals brief of Madam Aminata, in your lawyer request, on them prayers there, SLFA rejects, say we know they do expedited trial. We no want expedited hearing. We want the normal hearing. So the court's rule say, because SLFA not agree, the SLFA in your position stand, so they go normal hearing. The next one what they do now is SLFA yesterday for respond to what they call the stay of action or the stay of the decision. You go also interest you for no say this thing whether they talk so, not to the court to. Like break this news here today.
It's not the court.
Not at the camp, not to the court. The court no rule it. Now what they don't do? When SLFA they respond, SLFA their own position say they not object to the court. If the court decide for put Madam Aminata for contest provisionally upon the case is being had. So the courts don't write back to Madam Aminata, a lawyer, and SLFA don't take SLFA position. So now SLFA puts this position to the courts. Say the one we get for do for the stay of execution, we kick against her. We know how many stop this Congress. But we know the object if you wanna decide say they put Madam Aminata on a provisional measure for they can stand.
Which are or which is?
Now they explain so that the provisional measure that is they can allow her to contest before they air the case. So SLFA don't do dandy. So now they celebrate too. Then again, the other thing I want to tell you is
so that is a confirm that she's going to run for the race.
No. I'm not saying that. She might run, she might not run. But again, the decision now don't left to the courts. Now I make the court in the letter state say they don't push her now to the president of the division or a deputy for rule. So now the ruling they wait for so.
All right.
And for that ruling day, I will tell you here again as a professional that she might be asked on a provisional measure for let they add the name for contest the elections before the hearing.
Time now will go against we. We hope to get you after the Congress on Saturday if all goes well. What are some of the few words we're going for left foot we right now? Especially we're going to deal with members of the respective camps. During your tenure as SLFA Secretary General, we see a lot of confusion going to Congress. But whenever Congress comes close, it become a peaceful environment. I remember in Kenema, I remember in McKinney. So why would you get a lot of this tension now? What will be your message to the respective camps?
Elections not funny. In an election.
I know.
And there are so much at stake.
Well, you get a lot of wood for play if anything happens because they say the hottest place in hell is kept or reserved for those who keep quiet when we get moral crisis. You are not keeping quiet.
Thank you. And these public lectures what I don't do and some of them media campaign here don't help for cool down the tension. I tell you now today. So the other party go to look at it and say, oh, Chris don't talk nicely. He say SLF don't agree, say they not the object if they put Madam Aisha and Madam Aminata on the list for contests. Now SLF agree. Not to Madam Aminata. Madam Aminata asks for that. SLF don't agree to that. But SLF say all the other things they ask for stop the Congress. No, not agree. So now it all left to the courts. And by the way, again, they don't agree, say SLF, Madam Aminata agree, say they want a sole arbitrator. SLF don't agree to them. Then choose. I remember the case between Benin, Sierra Leone Football Association, CAF, Mark Hovel, an arbitrator with the state in Manchester. Now in SLFA, they don't agree based on Rule 54. So SLFA and Madam Aminata, they don't agree, say, now one person for here this trial.
Okay.
Not to say anybody they get your own arbitrator and the court get their own arbitrator. We forbid 3 according to another rule. But also they give provision for get a single arbitrator. So SLFA Madam Aminata don't agree and they don't appoint Mark Ovel. Again on that, the president or a deputy they rule on that. When they rule on that, they communicate say that the issue one to agree. The court self don't agree on that.
All right. There is a lot more we'll definitely go bring to you ahead of the Congress and before and after the Congress. The Congress will take place this coming Saturday in Lunge. But as this breaking news, we are still monitor. One for appreciate Christopher Kamara joining me in the studio. He's still the Secretary General of the SLFA. Unless if any president come in and say, okay, we can't work with you anymore, we are bringing you back. But not show the show them because there are a lot of segments we could bring to you. But not just listen to public opinion with regard to this topic. where we own reporter Mohammed Kolia been go out and talk to Sierra Leoneans, which are their own take ahead of this elective Congress slated on Saturday.
An officer get it right because the committee who responsible for look negative and positive don't find it negative, right? And I'll now put 10 committee in place. Yeah, they don't bet you. Okay, you do as a peaceful citizen, not cause you no offense. You say the legal side, you go to court. Court go and talk to back say premature, not mature, and so on I do. If me and him I will sit down suffer, I give peace a chance. If me and him I dey sit down suffer, because you say no, you say no. The voice of man and the voice of God.
Well, you don't get the right for stop the election because this country, if you put the right people in the right place, I believe say football business will move before this country. Because the right man when they try for people at the right place, so now man we get money for sponsor football in this country. They get all the competency and the capability. So I believe say that the right decision and take so for school them and then put the right person at the right place.
Yeah, you get right for make so. You get right to make I say get right there. That the first tendency of Sierra Leone football or the world as a whole, where the current president for doing election, the band has said nothing up. I believe say the man is 100% right now because there never been the history of Sierra Leone football in general. This is the first time we have seen short kind problem in the country. And this man don't make football long grow. Woman them both under 12 they play, under 15 they play, under 18 they play. Understand? So don't make the football long grow. You understand? Every man they go lost at the ballot box. But for stopping the man not following nothing up, if na so my head country, it's not correct, man. Let the man go to the pool, he go lost. When lost, he will look better. That he will not say lost genuinely. But for stopping the man say not for stand because of he say change in name or passport or this that. And I don't believe say it didn't have the constitution. Everybody get right for doing to do for the worst and the right way for them.
Concerning the malpractice and the things that we doing all right, the 2 passports and the 2 dates of birth we get, we're not supposed for B. Then NCA say if I go courts and the court don't rule out say enough us and courts are not the legal body we for give verdict. So if the court say you not get right for stop the election, so then be it the election for go ahead. The election for go ahead. So but the only thing now when the election they go on, we as sensible, rightful Sierra Leoneans we not for vote by sentiments. We for look the one the way we know say then for put structures in place for develop football in the country, not for the benefits of individuals, but the benefits of the whole country. Like how all the small countries that we big pass, then they do well pan football. What will they do well before? Pass them. You see? So we're not for side, we're not for take sides. Let we work to merit. The one we merit something, let them give them. You see?
Within myself as a Sierra Leonean, the decision is very rough because Daddy Brahma not for decide for disqualify with Aminata Bangura. The decision when they take it rough. Now you don't directly show say now they let Wale Babadi win the election instantly. So I'm your own decision under as a Sierra Leonean and you're not happy and not peaceful with that. You know, peaceful citizens and they support football in this country. The decision will take it very rough. It get right because I'm the former president of the Football Association of this country. You get right.
Welcome back from the fruitful discussion we don't get with Christopher Kamara and explained to you extensively with regards to that. So the issue of Madam Aminata Bangura, of course, we can proudly confirm to you, say, the two parties, the lawyers representing the SLFA, and somebody who preside over the matter, NACAS, they don't get a unanimous agreement that Madam Aminata Bangura for go back into the race. We can confirm this now to you, that if we go back into the race, and that was not a decision will be taken by CAS. So the SLFA agree that the lawyer, the representative agree, say, okay, for be part of the Congress. So that have been said. So they get for be part of them, but we still want to get a correspondent from the SLFA in verifying that. Away from football, we all know entertainment is also part of football, and football goes with entertainment. Despite we are discussing a football discussion today, people like Travis Scott, people like Davido, people like K-Man, Emerson don't perform in prestigious football arena in an opening ceremony or closing ceremony. From that, they'll join the man with the Conjure Pigos, the Castanova, the Sefe man, the man will get the bungalow so. But if you want the Sefe, forget it for the
bungalow so.
Welcome, Big Daddy.
Yes, Toby, good afternoon. Anyway, good afternoon, viewers, and of course you here with me again for the latest updates here on the Slick Television channel 37. Well, of course, as you know, this now the entertainment segment. So starting here, of course, we have Rema, and Rema in Calm Down song, of course, don't be featured on one of the top-notch movie winner, the 40 Acres. You see, this now a big one. So plenty of people believe say that a mistake way Don Jazzy be decide for let's go off, you know, the Marvin's records, you know what I mean, to Universal, and you they see say these are some of the benefits. You understand? Imagine your song being featured on a movie like this. I mean, you know how many dollars we get for pass through, you know what I mean? So this is a big one for Rema. And moving away from Rema, let's talk about Davido. So OBO, the baddest, of course, you see, this artist, now one of the hard-working artists, and recently, the BDR still numbers, yes, so that returned to the Billboard charts, the USA Billboard chart, Afrobeat, and of course, it take the number 44, and guess what? It don't spend a total of 17 weeks on the chart. That now for tell you, say, David is not here to play, and he's...
That is massive.
I tell you, he's really doing well. You understand? For Lemon staying at the chart for that long. And moving away from international, let's talk about our Sierra Leonean sister. Now, we all know Queen Nack. Well, Queen Nack has been doing massively well. From where it dropped in With You song, where in future Fine Face, I mean, him being a considered artist for the Grammy. Now, she is part of the official production team for the BET 2025 this year. Wow. And it gets the chance now for even submitting song back for the BET. I mean, this is not a big one for Sierra Leone. We having our own, you know, sister being part of the production team for BET. That's not a great one. So congratulations to Queen Nack for that particular move.
The Black Entertainment Award.
I tell you, it's crazy. It's really crazy, you know. And moving away from Queen Nack, let's talk about Rap G. Yes, so Rap G Ima alongside Techno CZ. Now, these guys are in the studio, and there is a new vibe they are coming with. They call this one Tonobo.
Not to sing and dance and Tonobo.
Well, I don't know, but okay. I think this Tonobo is quite different. But let's check out what really went down at the studio.
Cox me, dry, can I you know what you know can like fun that singer for this son it don't fly helicopter so now so next to get this son you know what, yeah, we the son of boy, hey yeah, we the son of boy, let's like me smaller than the boy, hey yeah, we the son of boy, hey yeah, we the son of boy, let's like me smaller than the boy. Shell pumping, we no comfort, we can keep pumping. Baby say he want something, me want back. Woody, I want in something. Aye, this is sweet, oh, now my bash. Baby, come quick, shake calabash. Turn over, not Javawas. Me brother season, but that's never a clash. I bought you one, then I would up. I can feel and me lot you one. I bought you one, make it on the mix. I bought you one. Yeah, we the son of boya, son of boya, son of boya. Yeah, we the son of boya. Let's like me smaller than some boya. Yeah, we the son of boya, son of boya, son of boya. Yeah, we the son of boya. Let's like me smaller than some boya.
Moving away from Rap G and Techno CZ, of course, with Stonoball. Let's talk about Kari and Aminish. Yes, of course, Kari and Aminish are right now in the studio. You see, back 2 weeks ago, I talked about the new vibe way, the one for Brinkam, and finally, these ladies don't team up, and I must tell you, with the kind of melody where doing the studio session, I can tell you for free, say, this girl will be a kind of song where you want to go one for sit down and listen. Okay. But if you think I'm forming, let's just have a taste of what exactly is going on now at the studio right now. Finally, and for wrap up the entertainment corner, now we want to go back to the entertainment ambassador alongside with brother man all the way from the Gambia. And of course, this collaboration is one of, the top-notch way, don't be the talk on the street. Now, kiss to your enemy, yes. So, Homzy, of course, bring the entertainment ambassador on this one. And I must tell you, it's a vibe already. If you think, na phone, test waiting the ambassador and Homzy brought for us. Kiss to your enemy.
Till they give a smiling face, cause the more they hate, the more I just they give it. They stab me and me back, but still they give it. Enemies, frenemies, but still they bang it. Kiss some enemies, oh yeah.
I sit down and put me trust to God.
Forsake the entertainment segments. Well, that was all inside the basket. Till we meet again tomorrow for the 4th edition. Me will bring the entertainment to you. My name now Big Daddy once more, and continue for enjoy the rest of the program. Toby.
Plenty thank you to Big Daddy for that wonderful entertainment we don't bring to you. I want to say yourself don't dance small, but we are waiting for Carinero in your hardcore rap in this song When I Kiss to Enemy within Future. And we also don't see a lot of saga over the past 24 hours. Famous, 7.
I'm telling you.
We see man and tone like Will Smith. We'll reach to that when we look at other issues. But for now, we don't get the entertainment part. Well, body, not gently, as the saying goes. And if you also feed the body, that works the money. On that base, we'll join Paulina Bendu Samba for health tip. After we health tip, we can bring to you the travel schedule for Thursday.
Hello and welcome to Today Health Tips. Today, we go can talk small but strong about diabetes. one silent killer wey plenty people no even know say dem get. 1. Wetin na diabetes? Diabetes na condition wey dey happen when your blood sugar too high. Normally, insulin dey help for control your sugar level, but when e no dey work well, sugar go build up inside your blood and that's na diabetes. 2. How you go know? Dis na some of the sign dem. If you dey pee too much. 2. If you always thirsty. 3. If you dey lose weight fast. 4. If when you get wound e no dey well quick. 5. If you eye not too clear. Sometimes dem dey you go even get sign and not even know, so e fine for the go for checkup. 3. Wetin dey cause am? 1. Na when you dey eat boku sugar or fatty foods dem. 2. Na when you no dey exercise. 3. Na when diabetes dey inside your family. 4. Na overweight. If diabetes dey run inside your family, start early for live clean and smart. 4. Wetin we for do now? Eat balanced food like leaf soup, whole rice and beans. Drink boku water, not just dey drink soda all time. Exercise, you can waka, dance or stretch. You can go for checkup every year because diabetes no get cure, but you will able for manage am well and live long. Diabetes no dey shout because it dey destroy you slow. So now that make you for know your sugar level and protect your life.
And gentlemen, welcome to the show. Are you ready?
6 mil bit. Yo, for all the married bonarare.
Check, friends are saying Kelly, this is a tough journey. Make your mama pack or this is a game of no returning. Know that I'ma make it. Let me give it sky.
You under, don't preach on so let them lock your coffin. Flows go damage man can hear and make it smell a rotten. How I do am I look me kind of the purposing.
I'm off the chain, prison break, lock the board at them. Guessing me today, killing wait to God at them. Killing in the capital, shit is
how away the angry liar lose. Flow go like a Davita or ginger beer juice. Can say them boss they no go function. Some rapper now get use. The game need a saving well I come like a prophecy.
Mass break, guessing me I cut the chain. Make a wire panic and the other rappers them for fade. But let me
muku padresi the post say na sele. One day the party beats for half for do in a boss small. Why it's called rest of money in order and it is cup on.
And then I pull it it. Party mean I pull it it. But that you dog mutts. Now they talk to me like any owl. If you test back, I just slaughter you like any cow. Now you want the throne, but he ate too small for the cow.
Get the swag and the vibe. What they make you fans them bet. And some inflows na aid. Where you really hard to forget.
Some flow now they honor like Inji when all they start. When me pass at first. The all is cat types of rap battle. I they control every game. Like R1, Act 2, L1, R1X. Got that now the corner. I they watch every show.
Welcome back from the very short break there. We don't get we well body from Paulina Bendusamba. Now we'll bring to you we travel schedule. For you, we want for travel, and we will not say travel starts the next day, but midnight of the next day. So let's dive into today's travel schedule to ensure you have all the information you needed for a smooth journey. Well, let's start off with, starting from 5 a.m., Askai Airlines flight KP023 will depart from Banjul, stopping in Freetown at 8:05 a.m. Accra, and finally arrive in Lome at 8:45 a.m. At 8:30 a.m., Askai Airlines flight KP043 will take off from Banjul and headed to Freetown, arriving 9:10 a.m. before continuing to Lome. At 1 p.m., Askai Airlines flight KP022 will depart from Lome, make stops in Accra and Freetown, and finally arriving in Banjul at 4:45 p.m. For overnight travelers, nightlife travel by the way, for overnight travelers, Turkish Airlines flight TK533/4 will depart at 9:30 p.m. from Istanbul with stop in Ouagadougou, arriving in Freetown at 10 a.m. and then return to Istanbul at 2:10 a.m. Also at 11 p.m., Royal Air Maroc flight 8569 will leave Casablanca, stops in Monrovia, and arrive in Freetown at 2:30 a.m., continuing to Casablanca at 3:20 a.m. For today, this is all we have for you on our travel schedule. Shortly, we'll be joined by James Kamaramane for kind of review some of the headlines in the studios and, of course, the Today Show. Welcome, Mane, and welcome to the Today Show.
Good afternoon, Toby, and good afternoon, viewers. And so now we want for go straight. You remember yesterday we tell you see the SLPP, they continue for, they start the delegate conference. We start today and tomorrow. So that means say a lot of things get for unfold now this delegate conference. But inside this conference, things that don't happen. The president, Dr. Julius Maada Bio, done to make some statements during this conference where they go on. Today, the first day, he make a speech. So we take some excerpt of the speech then the way he make. We see on the screen, we see the first one. He say, I, Julius Maada Bio, has not endorsed any candidate and let the delegate decide. May the best candidate win. So one of the statements, he say, you know, endorse anybody. If you remember some weeks back, we may show some names them, about 18 names of people we get interest for take over the hot seat after the tenure of President Bio when at 2028. But now he's saying, you know, endorse anybody. And so for now, they get delegates them who that they elect, they can win as the best candidate. I'll take the next statement we make. He say, I not give you baton yet.
You don't begin run.
You don't begin run. Usai, you they go. Let's focus on delivering for the people of Sierra Leone for the 5-year mandate they gave us in 2023. This nice direct statement. I'm not give back on it. I'm not ready for an overpower it. Me tell not on it. So Usai will run go. So you see, you call the attention of the delegates.
Can we underline the word you? That I not give nobody baton.
Yes. Yes.
I not give you baton yet. The word you is like, in my view or in my opinion, that the president might be referring to one person.
Yes, in an individual, obviously the one person you go for pick. Not to go for pick. It's by like elective Congress and go for. That's now after this one, that could be next year. Yeah. So for now, you know, pick anybody for now, you know, endorse anybody yet. So he get the right to endorse and get the right to elect. So for now, he say you know endorse anybody yet. So make them focus on the 5-year content. A mandate to them give them for now. The next one is say no party has won elections in Sierra Leone 3 times in a row. We are going to do it. This is a huge one as well. No party in the history of Sierra Leone don't win per election 3 times in a row. They don't win election 2 times in a row, first and second term. Most parties, I mean the 2 parties, APC and SLPP, don't win them 2 times in a row. But this one, SLPP is going for the 3rd term, 2028. So they are calling it 3rd term. It's not that President Bio, they go for the 3rd term, but it means SLPP want to win it again the 3rd term. So he's saying they are going to do it. They are going to set the records. Okay? Now that is it. Let's take the other one. We get the final statement we make. For now, he say, I have contested and lost elections, and I have also contested and won elections. I have always displayed loyalty to the ideas of the Sierra Leone People's Party. So he's calling for loyalty. So whether you win or you lost, your loyalty due to the party. So you still for maintain your loyalty to the party. But during this whole start of this 14th National Delegate Conference of the LCLPP, the reporter, John Abdullah Mingo and Bintumani, and sound the views of people that we meet around the university when I've been to Bintumani conference. Now inside free song. Make you listen to that report today.
Won this election, but they have people in the SLPP that does not want the SLPP to leave after tomorrow. They don't want the SLPP to leave after tomorrow, so that is why they are doing everything to stop Batilo's winning. But let me send them a message. They have to kill all of us, take our corpse to the mortuary before they will announce the result against Batilo. The problem here, this is the accreditation they gave us as observers, senior members of the party. The Secretary General and his team, the substantive Secretary General and his team prepared observer status for people.
Are they here for Param? But they will support the youth then, because the man and the way they support the youth then. Because the youth then they suffer. While Param go win, they will support the public then. The people then at the country.
The 14th SLPP National Convention. And I believe as we, the religious leaders of the party, we need for the, among the kind of crowd there, one, not only for the support of the party, but for also preach the word of God related to the political aspect of life, how we need for be the support or related to the religious aspect. Generally, the expectation and the work we don't do, would expect say, where one person win, not an individual win. Now the party don't win. Everybody go stand, but all man not go win. Now one person go win. But when the one person don't win, we expect the entire party in order for follow that particular individual who don't win in order for to say the party don't move forward. Apostle Dr. JP Lucy Mariam Matoka.
What did they go for?
They go for the national chaplain.
All right, so what are your expectations as of all?
Yeah, well, my expectation for the national chaplain for this particular woman, I want for make. I believe say it go be the victor. I believe say I ain't go winner because of certain qualities what we don't see in him. Now that make we support them in order for let it go lead we for becoming the national chaplain for the great SLPP.
National convention for we national leadership of the party, the national chairman and other national officials. Sir Jimmy Batilo Songa, we are the poor man's friends, we are the right direction and the unifier. At the end, we expect winning. We expect winning. Already the winning day, we wait for tomorrow when at the celebration because today, the election they start today, but the young will commence tomorrow. The momentum, as you can see around every side of the election center and Jimmy Batilo Songa. The problem always been done, they happen at the party during the lower level from zonal sections, chiefdoms and all the rest. Only Jimmy Batilo go come and set that pace. We say everybody go see himself in the formula and the motto of the party, which is one country and one people.
Francis Will, the campaign manager for Dr. Obotiem Chakanda, aspirant for National Secretary General of the Sierra Leone People's Party. As we all know, around the country, we don't go around for campaign to delegates, and today all day we are the National Delegate Conference for ensure say we get the delegate attention for both for Dr. Obotiem Chakanda as the next Secretary General for SLPP. As party people and both people that way support Dr. Chakanda, we want to see free and fair elections and allow the party for choose the young leaders like we don't do in the past. And everybody know very well that Dr. Obotiem Chakanda party where they come out from Eastern region, specifically Kono district. And we feel say if the chairman where everybody look at now Jimmy Batilo Songa, the most popular candidate for me, they support particularly. If you don't come up from both districts, I will also know say Param Tarawali, some they come up from both districts. I feel say the party, the expectation where we get from the delegates and now for them decentralized and give fair representation across the country. Dr. Chakanda they come up from both, if from Kono, if we want to get that kind of fair representation, if the chairman they come up from both the seats, we also they expect say the Secretary General when I want the most powerful position for come up and another district. So that the expectation we want to get free and fair election, we say a delegate for everyone for choose based on what they believe and the progress of the party. Me now the campaign chairperson for Dr. Chakanda. Now, of course, in way the expectation of the people and the delegates and they believe say this man they will come with that kind of administration. When I focus on for build the party, for bring peace, for mobilize more support for the party, and ensure that the grassroots where the voices will be heard to the top leadership, then get them because a man of the people, a grassroots somebody, even though the person who don't go around the world, you don't get a lot of education and experience, he still believes say he want for serve, if he don't serve as the Deputy Secretary General. Everybody know what he will do in relationship with the party people. And today, if they come for the Secretary General, we expect say we go for the one of the best administration because we know say the Secretary General, now at the head of administration at the secretariat of the party. So official with Dr. Chakanda experience and the expertise and education we get, we go for one of the best Secretary Generalship.
Yeah, thank you very much, John Abdullahi, for doing that compilation day for we. You know, as you hear within the supporters in the Senate, those are voices of various supporters them, where they express the desire, they express their wish for see the candidates way, then they support, win, others they wish another thing else. But we hope say the whole delegate conference will end tomorrow, will come out well and will be peaceful, and they will select that. I mean, they will elect that one for elect. We will take the party to the next 4 years as executive members of SLPP. Up next, as you see it on the screen, this is now a press release we being come out last week, Thursday, on the 24th of July. One of the appointments is an appointment. One of the appointments we caught with attention, the appointment of the new ombudsman. We don't get a new ombudsman. We now Mr. Emmanuel Tondone. We go for take over the previous ombudsman, we named Tijan Israel Jar. But we get some controversies where people had already raised some questions concerning the office of the ombudsman. We, not only got analysts, we, as I say, we all are journalists. So we don't want to say much concerning the appointment of this new ombudsman, or whether it's questionable constitutionally or not. So we sound the views of an expert lawyer. We go count for analyze for within this appointment mean, whether President Bio acts within the confines of the Sierra Leone law, whether the constitution, or he acts outside, or he use veto power for appoint a new ombudsman. So we reporter go and sound the view of one legal expert, lawyer Charlie Israel Williams. We give a succinct analysis about waiting the law say when it comes to appointment of an ombudsman. Make we listen now.
Today, this is not a special broadcast. It focus on the office of the ombudsman. You know, in Sierra Leone, we get this office where the Constitution make provision for. Edena Chapter 8 of the Constitution, Section 146, a column, the Ombudsman. So that section of the Constitution make provision say we go get an office for an ombudsman. Now, waiting this office there about. The ombudsman office basically now USAI investigation, is done into the functions, well, basically administrative function of departments of government, agencies, any institution where a government they fund. The ombudsman office they investigate how then they do their administrative functions. And so the ombudsman office they receive complaints and then go investigate. And at the end of the day, they will come out with well, what you will refer to as a recommendation, so that the institution in question will carry out waiting they recommend. Okay, so basically now a kind of creation for assist, you know, the government for solve issues them where they occur within government agencies or parastatals, as the case may be, instead of going to court, because that's another important thing. Sometimes they way those administrators in those government organizations or departments and agencies, then go think say waiting and they do correct, not until, you know, they are brought to see that, oh no, I think if we don't do it this way where you do it, it's not correct, totally wrong. So the ombudsman office basically investigates and complain, and they where most times now the command and other institutions, and they can carry the complaint go to the ombudsman office, and then they go investigate and go invite the parties then, and then they go investigate the matter. Well, it's a kind of how you go call it now, a kind of court system in the sense they go listen to you how you complain, and while you can complain, say they go listen to your side, and then who side una supposed for bring evidence for support wetin una dey say, una bring them, and then the ombudsman office go now conclude that matter day and then go recommend. However, as important as this office be, we don't get instances where the office of the ombudsman go down investigate matter, then don't conclude and do recommendation, but then government institutions they are no they pay attention, they not even they consider the recommendation. You know, it can happen like say waiting the ombudsman do not mean nothing, you know, get effect. And so for me as an activist, I can say and say now waste of government resources. Well, we get a whole organization, we get a setup, we get a structure, we get everybody where they work there, where they earn taxpayers' revenue for a work, a concluding work at the end of the day, a give recommendation, and then nobody not seen for take and serious at all. That one, it's not good for with democracy, because we waste resources. We really waste resources. So just like we at some point in 2008 we give the Anti-Corruption Commission powers for letting them prosecute matters, we as a country also get for the think as to how we for empower the office of the ombudsman for make waiting and they recommend become something where we go compel the state institutions there so for act on the recommendations. Because at the end of the day, if the office of ombudsman don't do their work, then they don't recommend, and then it don't mean nothing, not take any effect. I mean, you just don't waste all man in time. The way we go late complain, don't waste in time. Even the office of the ombudsman and all the people who go don't walk around a complaint, you don't waste their whole time, and then you don't waste state resources. I mean, so this is something we have to take seriously. Another aspect we want to talk about today in this broadcast. Now, how did they appoint ombudsman and how they left the office? According to the Constitution in section 146, as I read just now, it's saying that the president and they appoint the ombudsman, and then Parliament they approve them. Okay, Parliament and they approve the person where they appoint, and before this person is appointed, a need for be qualified in certain ways. For now, we don't see 3 people who occupy the office there. We get Leon Jenkins Johnson, we don't occupy the office there. We na legal practitioner, a person we know about law. After him, we see Melron Nicole Wilson himself don't serve another office there. Melron himself na possibly na legal mind. He understand about law, he don't practice law. And quite recently we get Tijan Ahmed Israel Jah, we self we come to understand quite recently say, well, I think say in one of the people that we don't serve the shortest in that institution. An appointment not even 1 year yet, and we now understand say another appointment has been made. There is a new holder of the office. So as an activist, you get people with concern, hey, what's happening? Hey, how comes this person, as he take up this office in order to say he don't left the office? Well, I don't want for specifically talk about Israel Jah leaving the office. I want to just talk generally about the appointment and how he left the office. And also talk about that generally with regards to other appointments where President can make and Parliament approve. You know, in my own opinion, I think say in a democracy we need to know the workings of the government, whether it's the executive, the legislature, or the judiciary. We need explanations sometimes, if not always, with regards to certain things where they happen with people where they serve the country. Because even though president appoint you, it's the country that you serve. And as I say, Israel Jah is the person where the older office there for the shortest time. Before we see president announce the new appointment, we also see a letter where they suggest say Israel Jah being to resign effective July, you know. However, as I say, we can want for no waiting make somebody they left office. Whether he not perform, whether, well, it should say, I want for move on, go do something else. So it's a right for resign, you know, or whether on a political pressure. Because the thing with some of the offices there, you get for the investigate certain matters, certain institutions, and you definitely get for conclude with a recommendation. So there are times where you mass those. You know, you go mass those. The same with the Anti-Corruption Commission and Audit Service. The institutions, then they mass those. And so there are times where sometimes the pressure we can come out from politicians or people with hold high offices with regards to a particular investigation where they go on, can make holders of the offices, then they look and say, you know what, make I left this work. I want my own sanctity, I want my life back, and you know, I just want my own peace. So that is why the public need for know, instead of we left ourselves in assumptions and presumptions and speculations as to, oh, well, what's going to happen now? Why this, you know? So me, your position of that. In as much as, yes, it's the president, now they appoint people into offices. So meaning, he get the right also for, you know, appoint somebody else and let go the holder of the office, substantive owner, holder of the office. But I think, say, the public also, it's as of right that we know exactly what happen, why this person. We don't see situations where president, they appoint somebody in place of the substantive holder of an office, and then we see a subsequent appointment. So you go no say, well, this, even if I no ask question, I think say this person are like a kind of promotion, because until I've been there, no side and center now is different in terms of the nature of the job and the hierarchy and what it entail. But there are some way the public left in limbo. We don't know what might have happened within the circumstance and all. And so many things are very important, because the people that hold their offices there, As I say, and the public, then they serve the interest of
Thank you very much, Mohamed Bake Kamara, for doing that interview there for we. And thank you very much, Lawyer Williams, for doing the legal analysis there on the issue, whether the President acts within the confines of the law in appointing the new ambassador, the new ombudsman or not. So we don't hear everything Lawyer Williams say concerning the issue. So if you get doubt, if you get fear, you get something questionable, I guess you don't answer your question, you don't allay your fear. I guess you enjoy the headline review today. We got Boku for now, but for today, I also the headline review they left you. And we bring a come to you. My name is James Kamaramane.
Well, definitely we don't get 2 hours extensively with you. We don't start off with all the issues around the SLFA elections. We also bring to you which if you look after your well-body, which will help people. Also bring to you sound of public opinion and the 14 delegates Congress currently where they go now the Bintumani headquarters for one of the oldest political parties in the sub-region, the Sierra Leone's People Party. There is a lot more we definitely want to bring to you, but all good things must come to an end, and all work cannot play definitely will make everybody a dull girl or a dull boy. For that, we want to say a very big thank you to the production team, Rabiatu Mansari and Abubakar Kamara. We put on this good work together. For the man behind the camera, Ahmed Jones, who ensures he got quality pictures. And to the guys in the control room, to CD and the rest of the team, you guys have been doing an amazing job behind the scene. The race for the SLFA elections is not yet over until it is over. I'm yours, Mohammed Tobikag, with a sign out till we meet again some other time. Continue for Watch Stick Television on Channel 37, and goodbye.